In the year of 2015, at the fourth year of our practice, we were approached by a trust to design a CBSE-based school with classes from pre-KG to 12th and with all the standard amenities at Adichanallur Panchayat, 20 km west of Kollam town. Initially, the proposed site area was around 2.7 acres. The client had hinted possible but uncertain locations for expansion of the site in the near future. This left us with a conundrum where we had to include every necessities of the design in the initial 2.7 acres, at the same time to leave the door open for the effective integration in anticipation of the future addition of the land. Eventually, the site area expanded to 3.1 and further to 4.7 acres during the construction stage. The site lies in a semi-urban area with few residential settlement around. The major road runs along the east boundary of the site, and there is a pocket road bisecting the site leading to few residences. Kallada Irrigation Project Canal is running within a close proximity of the site along the north and west side at a relatively higher elevation. The region as a whole has a slope towards the east direction. The site in particular has a slope from all sides towards its center and further to east, thereby creating a valley within the site. This particular topography induced an underground water current during the irrigation time through the site. We immediately realized any site grading should be in consideration of this unique scenario. The site consisted of few prominent trees which we managed to preserve. We also planned the overall groundwater flow to be directed to an offsite drainage at the east of the site, which then flows towards a paddy field further east. The site, being amidst a valley, had a very prominent wind flow from southwest direction. The design progressed based on few thoughts. The first one is to go for an optimum response to the site context and the given program. The very idea that we have to fit the whole built and unbuilt needs in the 2.7 acres made us prioritize the utilization of the land at its entirety, and the buildings are placed strictly in realization of the same. Also to create a public and private zone within. A plaza was conceived at the center of the site as a unifying element. Further, a major circulation axis in the east-west and the green axis at the northwest was conceived, also as a response to the articulated context. Learning happens within and outside the classroom. To foster this, we thought of providing participatory spaces throughout the campus, clarity in spatial expression, and visual connection between the space to create a sense of being a part of larger community. Transition spaces are kept along the open plaza to maintain visual participation. Let me quickly give you an overview of the campus. We have two entry. One main entry to the campus and a subsidiary entry to additional parking and services. Once you enter through the main entrance, you reach the visitor parking area, followed by an admin block. And further towards the west, you reach the main central plaza and an academic block at the end. At further west, we have the basketball court and service area. Opposite to the admin block, at the south pocket of the site, we have the central amenity block, open air theatre and badminton courts. An additional gateway is provided at the bisecting pocket road to access the site at the north, which has a football ground, staff quarters and refreshment block for ground staff. Now let me show you the different zones in detail. The parking area perceived as a public zone is being articulated by maintaining existing trees and by proposing avenues of trees. The building blocks after act as a buffer for the other part of the campus. The main axis running between the blocks. The central plaza seen from the shades of existing trees near amenity block. A post space between the blocks at the plaza. The ramp connecting the central plaza to the further west end of the campus. Open air amphitheatre at the southwest side runs along the amenity and hostel blocks, keeps the windward direction built free. The plot at the north being on a higher elevation is connected by a playful ramp and step. The staff quarters and playground at the north side of the campus. Talking about the individual building design, this building contains admin area, KG classrooms, play area, and auditorium. A double-height L-shaped lobby wraps the admin area at the ground and first floor. Beyond the lobby is the KG classrooms with an integrated play areas, and again a triple-height lobby opening to the central plaza. The transition spaces are deliberately kept in such a way to ensure visual participation with the rest of the campus. A triple-height lobby with skylight weaving the spaces with metal louvers at the periphery to maintain certain porosity. The first floor is almost typical to the ground floor. The auditorium at the second floor was one of the key factors in ideation of the build form. This particular block contains classrooms, labs, library, and supporting facilities. A gallery was ideated as a major participatory space, taking advantage of the topography. Again, the lobby and the transition areas as a space where one can participate in many sense. Double height entrance lobby space blurring the lines between indoor and outdoor. Other than the academic space, this floor has a double-height informal gathering space alongside the central plaza on the east side of the building. This floor also has a partially double-height informal gathering space at the south side of the building, adjacent to the staircase. The playful juxtaposition of these double-height spaces in various floors create a dynamic dialogue and generates unintended accidental interactions. A playful library space occupies the center of the second and third floor. A dining area is zoned at the top of the building. This area contains a canteen, gym, swimming pool, campus store, squash court, shooting range, other game rooms, and hostel behind. The amenity block is split into two, connected by a triple-height lobby to give an expansive experience and to enable cross-connection and to accommodate the branches of existing trees. A ramp originates between the blocks, connects the hostel at the higher level. An amphitheater is meticulously placed at the west end of the block, taking advantage of the topography. All the existing trees, which are carefully incorporated in the design, camouflages the build structure. The canteen was kept partially double height for the users to absorb the scale of the whole campus while dining. The ramp connects the hostel at two levels, and one can also choose an amphitheater to access the hostel. Choice of path was again a design criterion we tried to bring in throughout the campus. We also tried to create a playfulness within the hostel by creating a triple height lobby porous to the adjacent garden, and also by keeping common room for each floor, again porous to the amphitheater. The gym and the pool at the top level. A staggered connecting bridge between the blocks of amenity building creates a strong sense of place and generate diverse interactions. As a reflection of the overall design, I would like to emphasize few points. The design was purely a logical response to various tangible realities and reflection of few basic intangible concepts. Even the overall build form is merely an amalgamation of such responses. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to the Q&A section.
Thank you for your presentation. You're coming in a series of schools, right? So this question could have been asked to somebody else, but I will
Okay.
ask you. Um, we're living in a very strange time of flux in the manner in which we communicate with each other, right? This now a diversity of communication means. One is this, but then there's the virtual, and then there's the phone, and there's so many ways in which communication happens. And increasingly, we are saying that education or being in the classroom is not just about that on the blackboard writing. And then we also have the national new education policy, which is likely to come into play soon. So there are these two things that are impacting education, particularly primary. It's impacting higher education also, but particularly primary education or secondary school education. Considering these two things, my question or my thoughts are, what is the nature of the classroom itself? And unfortunately, in the presentation, I was looking for some image or something
classroom.
about the classroom, because I mean, I agree that a lot of education and a lot of learning happens on the outdoors and peripheral learning, etc. I'm a great proponent of that idea. But when I'm giving a talk in the class and I'm lecturing, I want the student to
Yeah.
pay attention to what I'm saying,
I
right?
get it. I get it.
So then, what is the envelope? What is the core that helps that attention?
Yeah.
And what is the space that is being now created today, in today's context, in today's environment, with today's situation, as a classroom?
Understood. Um, Responding to that, I think um, nowadays students I mean, most of the kids are occupied in screen time in mobile, and also probably school would be the one area where they would participate in outdoor activity generally. Yeah. But again, the question you asked, how the classroom could be more addressing to the current scenario. But we have tried to integrate play areas with almost all the classroom at the ground floor. And if it is at the first other floors, we have tried to give a spill out area for a group of classes. Once you step out of the class, you can immediately get into a spill out area. So that was again the response for that. Yeah. Thank you.